Good morning. It's not working. Am I audible? I don't think so. A very good morning to everyone. It's still not working. Okay, wonderful. A very good morning, number one, to the Honorable Minister John Steenhuisen and the MEC of Agriculture from Gauteng and the UK's High Commissioner for Trade, Mr. John Humphrey, our CEO of the African Agri Council, Mr. Ben Laker, and then one of our board members, Mr. Nhlanhla Nene, our speakers, distinguished guests. A very good morning to you all. So I am Zimkita Mkuteni Mapanga. Mine is very small. I'm here to just introduce our program chair for the day, the lady who's going to be steering the conversations today and tomorrow. So Market Access, so welcome to Market Access 2025. It's going to be a great event. We are quite delighted to have you here today and tomorrow. So this is just not a conference, it's a catalyst event where we are going to be exploring bold solutions, unlocking Africa's agricultural potential. We are going to be fostering inclusive trade and also talking about strengthening the regional and global linkages amongst the African agribusinesses. And so I'm here to just introduce the chair, but I think I would not miss saying that let us seize the opportunity to collaborate, inspire, and also drive the real impact across the agricultural value chain. So our program chair is Dr. Gostina Gebi Malupe. She's got quite a long CV, but I'm going to try and shorten it. She's going to be our program chair for today. She's also best known as the founder of Totule Agricultural College here in South Africa. It is an institution that is accredited by AgriSeta and QTCO. Her work is dedicated to empowering individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds through practical agricultural training and education. She was raised in a rural area in Mpumalanga. Dr. Malupe's early experiences inspired her passion to sustainable farming and community upliftment. She is also the co-founder and president of the KwaZulu-Natal Center for Rural Development, which is a national initiative that is active across all 9 provinces. So her focus is advancing rural development as well as agricultural infrastructure. Under her visionary leadership, Totally has expanded to include a primary and high school offering agricultural education from an early age. The college has become a leader in hands-on agricultural training and has established strategic partnerships with AgriSeta, AfriVet, and the South African Veterinary Council, amongst others. So in addition to her academic and development work, Dr. Malupe brings over 15 years of experience in consulting, enterprise development, and also mentoring young entrepreneurs. Her work has earned a national recognition. She was recognized as one of the young leaders by Mail and Guardian. Also in 2023, she was also recognized for as a best harvesting woman. So Dr. Malupe is also an author of an she's an emerging author. She has released 2 books. So we are proud to have her today to be steering the ship in the next couple of days. So over to you, Dr. Malupe.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am so traumatized because the lady they are speaking about here, she's not here today. I want to officially remove myself from all these big, amazing things of this other young lady. My name is Dr. Gabi Gostina Malupe. I'm born and bred in Bushbuckridge, and I have officially become a Zulu girl the past almost 10 years now. And I have not yet gotten married because every potential has not displayed the opportunity of owning a land. I am hoping they are still gonna try and acquire some land, but I guess because the minister is here, something is gonna happen. Welcome to KwaZulu-Natal. You just come at the right time where we are experiencing harvest that is being declared in the Bible, which is the Sardines Run. And if you do have time, make sure that you visit our South Coast and get yourself some free sardines. All right. I just want to observe protocol because I would not want to waste more time. I think everyone came from far and above to come and learn and be impacted. But moreover, I believe that we are all here to network and share the response of this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the CEO of African Agri Council, Mr. Ben Lekia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you can hear me fine. It's great to be here in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal, and to be in the presence of so many distinguished guests. Welcome you in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal. My name is Ben Leika. I'm with the African Agri Council. Just a few words before we set the stage for our distinguished speakers. The past few months, my colleagues and I have been speaking to various representatives from public sector as well as the private sector. And for those who know the African Agri Council, for those who have heard me speak, I usually present myself as a private sector guy because I firmly believe that the development of Africa should be driven by the private sector with the support of government and policymakers. And during our interactions with the private sector, with government, you could sense a bit of frustration with everything that's currently happening across the globe. And all our private sector partners kept saying one thing: can we utilize the current trends and turn it into an opportunity for Africa? Can we start looking at Africa as a potential market for Africans as well as the global market? How do we create market opportunities for agribusinesses on the continent, small or large? And that's where the public sector comes in, because they need to drive those discussions. They need to engage in various negotiations. We saw a couple of weeks ago our Honorable Minister in Washington talking on behalf of the farming community, talking on behalf of South Africa, and more importantly, speaking on behalf of the African continent. So we need to foster these relationships to open up markets for our agribusinesses, young or old, small or large. And that's what this platform is about, is how do we create these opportunities? Every single stakeholder that we spoke with understood how critical this discussion was, particularly during these difficult times. And to have governments represented in the room, to have private sector represented in the room, we believe that we can start paving the way for our farming community, for our agribusinesses, not just South Africans, but Africans, so that we can look at intra-Africa as one of our opportunities that we can open to our businesses, but also global markets. Who are the key partners that we can engage with right now? Who is willing to explore the opportunities that Africa has to offer? And who is willing to work with our African agribusinesses so that we can open those doors? And by doing so, we can certainly achieve zero hunger. At the African Agri Council, we believe that zero hunger by 2030 is an achievable goal with the private sector, hand in hand with government. With those few notes, I'd like to hand over to our lovely director so that she can take over the proceeding of this event. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Access Africa 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is quite a formidable space, like I said, and we must also take the opportunity and give you your flowers for setting up an environment that is conducive enough for farmers to come and engage and moreover share the journey. Without any further ado, I would like to invite I was actually so honored because the past couple of months I've been following her on socials, and I was wondering, when does she sleep? Because every time she's rocking it, she's appearing and she's dressing up. So today I get the opportunity, and I think it's gonna sank in the evening when I sleep, that a role model that I have not actually officially made it public is here today to share, but moreover to lead us, because it is the leadership that we look forward to always. And thank you for being here, and thank you for coming. We really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, because I realized she was the only lady on this panel. Can we all rise and welcome Honorable Vuyiswa Ramokgopa, the MEC of Agriculture and Land Reform in Gauteng. We are really honored for you to be here today. She will be introducing her panel, and she will also be joined by the Honorable Minister, Johannes Steenhuisen, and to deliver the keynote address as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that lovely opening. Good morning to all the distinguished guests present, notably Honourable Minister Steenhuisen, to the High Commissioner, British High Commissioner of Trade, as well as CEO of the Agricultural Council. And thank you, Programme Director, for the very kind opening words. I was given a very simple task of introducing the Honourable Minister today and of sharing a bit of background information about him. Our Honourable Minister of Agriculture, who you might have mistaken for our Minister of International Relations. He sometimes doubles up as a Minister of International Relations, Minister of Human Resettlement as well. But today he is here indeed in his capacity as Minister of Agriculture, and it is indeed an honor to have you here. I will just do a short reading and overview of his biography. He is known to many of us as the leader of the Democratic Alliance, but he is also a KZN native, born in Durban and attended Northwood High School. He has been active in politics for many years, starting at a young age, serving as a branch chairperson for Ward 36 in Durban North in his late teens, where he was subsequently elected to the Durban City Council in 1999. And at the age of 22, he was one of the youngest councillors in the city's history. In 2006, Minister Steenhuisen was elected as the caucus leader of the official opposition, the Democratic Alliance and the eThekwini Council, and served on the city's executive committee. Here, he served on committees responsible for projects such as the 2010 World Cup preparations, including the Broadway redevelopment in Durban North and the construction of Moses Mabhida Stadium. Steenhuisen represented Durban North in the eThekwini Council for 10 years, until the 2009 general election, where he was elected a member of the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Legislature and leader of the DA caucus. In 2010, he took up a seat in the National Assembly and served as DA Shadow Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and in 2014 was appointed as the Chief Whip of the official opposition, a position he held until October 2019. In November 2020, Minister Steenhuisen was elected federal leader of the Democratic Alliance, and having stabilized the party and re-entrenched policy coherence during his term, he was elected federal leader for a second term in April 2023. Under his stewardship, the Democratic Alliance grew in the 2024 general election, is now the second largest party in South Africa's Government of National Unity, where he serves as the National Minister of Agriculture. Many of you will be happy to know that he is a proud East Coaster and AmaZulu fan. He is married to Mrs. Terry Steenhuisen and has 3 beautiful daughters, and he is passionate about South Africa. And I think we have all witnessed his passion, and his passion not just for South Africa, but also the industry and the portfolio that he now leads. And it is a pleasure indeed to introduce you, Minister Steenhuisen, and the rest of the panel to welcome me on the stage. Thank you. To join me on the stage, rather. Do you want me to introduce the others too? Okay, all right. My apologies. Minister Senezen will be delivering the keynote address, after which we will rejoin you on the stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC, and it's certainly a huge honor to be introduced by somebody of your stature and somebody of your passion for the agriculture space. Like me, it was a new space that we got thrown into, but I've always said that what you may lack in expertise, you can make up with passion, dedication, and hard work, and it's a real honor to share this particular space with you. I must say I'm delighted that this room is a square room and not an oval one. Although I must say, Mr. Chairman and Program Director, I did get a little bit of PTSD when I saw the screen on the right-hand side, and I hope we're not going to have a dimming of the lights and some videos shown a bit later in the program. I'm still recovering from that in Washington. But really, it is a huge honor to stand in front of you all in my hometown of Durban, farmers, partners, financiers, and friends in the agriculture family. And it's a pleasure to stand before you today, not just as the Minister of Agriculture, but as someone who believes deeply in the potential of African agriculture to drive development, to create jobs, and most importantly, to grow our economy. In this room are the people who make that possible every single day. Whether you work the land, transport the harvest, finance the growth, or buy the produce, we are all of us part of this important ecosystem. And today I want to talk about not just what we're doing, but what we all must still do together. Because the global playing field is shifting incredibly fast. And if we don't move with the strategy and urgency that is required, we will really risk falling further behind. But if we are bold, if we're deliberate and united, we can put African agriculture at the center of global solutions, from food security to trade, from climate action to economic recovery for all of our continent. And let me begin where global influence meets the national interest. This year is a momentous year as we officially opened the G20 Agriculture Working Group under South Africa's presidency of the G20 on the 23rd of April. South Africa assumes the chair of this working group at a moment when the pressure on global food systems are undeniable, whether it's the war in the Ukraine that has affected the supply of grain and fertilizer around the continent and around the world, to the pressures that we've seen on climate change and climate policy. And this is therefore undeniably a moment of both urgency but also opportunity. Urgency because food insecurity, climate volatility, and systematic exclusion continue to threaten the stability of global food systems around the world. And opportunity, because never has the world had such scientific insight, technological advancement, and technological capacity, and a shared policy at an international level to finally do something about it. This is a defining time for agriculture, not only in South Africa, but across the continent and world. We are dealing with price shocks, massively rising input costs, unpredictable climate shocks, and constrained fiscal spaces, all of which are being felt first and foremost and most severely by our small-scale producers and subsistence farmers, women farmers, and the rural poor. Yet, within these challenges, there is a very real opportunity to change the terms of inclusion in agricultural markets, to build resilience not only in our systems but into our institutions, and to connect innovation with impact at scale and speed that this moment demands of all of us. But we also come into this role, chairing the G20, with confidence, rooted in our partnerships with many of you, and our commitment to the 4 core priorities that form the backbone of the G20 Agriculture Committee's Working Group's agenda, namely inclusive market participation, ensuring that smallholders, women, youth, and marginalized communities are no longer left on the periphery of food systems, but are firmly located at the center. Secondly, the empowerment of youth and women, not as beneficiaries of development, but as real, genuine drivers of agricultural transformation and innovation. Thirdly, technology and innovation transfer. And that's very important to build and bridge the gap between those who invent and those who need access to those inventions. And fourth, climate resilience. Building systems that can feed the world without destroying the ecosystems that support them. And anybody who doubts that climate shocks are a thing only needs to come to this province, KwaZulu-Natal, to understand that. Floods, typhoons, floods again, fires, and the like. It is climate change and climate shocks are with us, and we can either adapt and become more resilient to them, or we will be destroyed by them. Now, these four priorities are not just South Africa's priorities. They also reflect a global concern, and they speak directly to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the African Union's Agenda 2063, and the urgent need to make agriculture part of the solution to today's complex challenges. And it is incredibly heartening to see how agriculture and food security has crept up the agenda of many of the international forums where we discuss important matters of state. And whether it's the G7, whether it's the G20, whether it's the African Union, food security and agriculture are now at the top of the list because there is a realization that food security is linked to national security, continental security, and global security. Indeed, the largest conflicts in the world have often been driven by a lack of access to food. And there's no overstating the role that agriculture plays in our world. It feeds families, it fuels economies,